Good evening, and welcome to Best Listener Ever. Once again, we are starting late because we thought we had begun the live broadcast, but we had not. But we have now. You are live with Best Listener Ever. I'm your host for this presentation. I'm a 68-year-old black man coming to you from the heart of Texas, from the Gotham City of the South. I'm going to recap the last 8 minutes because you are now live with me. This channel is a channel that I would like for you to like. I would like for you to share with other people and to subscribe to. Taking careful note to punch the notification button, the bell. Click on the bell so that you can get notifications of when we're going live. We will always endeavor to go live at the appointed time. This is the second time today that we've been late, and I apologize for that. I don't like to be late. I don't ever intend to be late. I don't ever intend to begin the live just because no one is watching. That's not on my agenda. I don't need a certain number of people to be watching in order for me to begin a live. That's not me. Let me just go over while I gather myself together, the crawler. Keep your money, as you can see. No N-word, no profanity, no celebrity or YouTuber gossip, no libel or slander. If you have any questions, feel free to use the email that you see at the bottom of the screen. I will respond to all emails. I will not read your comments on the air. What I will do is read your comments after the live is finished, at which time I will make any response that is required on the following live. Sometime that'll be later on that day. Sometime that'll be the next day. But trust me, you will get a response. Now, we left off in the first installment in this series of videos with the beginning of the age of exploration, the circumnavigation of the globe by the Portuguese, the beginning of exploration into the New World with Columbus landing in the Caribbean. And now we begin the Spanish adventures into Mexico, Central America, and South America, where along with the natives of the islands in the Caribbean, where Columbus landed, the extermination of the indigenous people began. The Mayans of Mexico, the Incas and the Aztecs, I believe the Aztecs were in Mexico, but the Aztecs, the Incas, and the Mayans, their civilization, which was thousands of years old when the Europeans came, immediately fell and were crushed. Their beliefs were exterminated, extinguished, along with anyone who did not accept Catholicism as its belief. They were converted by the sword, as were many during the Muslim conquest of Northern Africa. They were converted in Saudi Arabia, as it was called then. They were converted by the sword, which is not much of a conversion, not much of a choice to make between losing your head and forsaking your original religion. But we will talk about that another day. Needless to say, the North American continent fell pretty much the same prey to the English, the French, and the Dutch. The people were exterminated. The native people were pretty much exterminated so that their land could be appropriated. Now, then we went to Africa. They went to Africa, the Europeans did, and colonized the western coast, later South Africa and East Africa. India, of course, fell to the British, where the British Raj was established, which lasted until the middle of the last century, the 19th century. And of course, Asia, where the British subverted the government, such as it was, the rulers of China, to take possession of what essentially was China. So by the end of the, let's say, 18th and beginning of the 19th century, the global system of white supremacy was firmly established on the North American continent, the South American continent, India, and Asia. Australia was never much to conquer. The indigenous people, the Aborigines, they call them. I don't even know what the Aborigines call themselves. I guess I'll have to look that up. But England took possession of Australia and shipped its worst and most outcast prisoners to Australia and New Zealand, of course, where they reside today. We'll come back to all this in the third installment, because this global system of white supremacy is still in place up until right now. But it was established through bloodshed. It was established through conquest. It was established through subterfuge. It was established by, and this is true of the North American continent, South America and Africa and India and China. The Europeans co-opted a certain class of Native Americans, South Americans, Mexicans, Africans, Indians, and Asians. They co-opted them to assist them in conquering the others, the rest. Okay, so this system of divide and conquer goes back to Roman times, when the Romans were conquering Europe here. When the Romans marched out of Italy into Central Europe, they co-opted the tribes of Europeans living there to fight with them against the others. This was true in Gaul. This was true in the Germanic tribes. This was true everywhere the Romans went. They divided and conquered. And that policy of division and conquest extends up until today and is still going on today. It's nothing new about it at all. It happens in your neighborhoods. It happens in your cities. It happens everywhere. But this has been the establishment of the global system of white supremacy that we know so well today, up until the beginning of the 20th century, just before the First World War. We'll talk more about that in our final installment. But the whole idea, as it suggests, was to establish a regime in which the European, the French, the English, the Spanish, the Netherlanders, whatever you want to call them, whoever came and emanated from Europe, wherever they went, they established colonies where they were the final authority. They were the final authority over everyone there. No matter that the Europeans have been, are, and always will be outnumbered by the non-white people of the world, they had to and have to be the ultimate authority on the entire planet. As I've indicated before, and I will indicate forever, there are so many of us as Black people, and I can only speak for Black people because I am one, who firmly deny the existence of a global system of white supremacy. That's mainly because they just don't understand it. I will refer you once again to Neely Fuller Jr. for a more full explanation of what white supremacy is. He says something to the effect that if you don't understand white supremacy, what it is and how it works, everything you think you know will only confuse you. And I have found that to be true. People who have no understanding, no knowledge even of the global system of white supremacy and have no knowledge of how it works are clueless about everything else. I know that sounds harsh, but so is the global system of white supremacy. Okay. Well, now we know how the global system of white supremacy was established through blood and conquest. It has been maintained by blood and conquest, not by negotiation, not by peacemaking, not by religious conversion, but by the sword, by the bullet, by the cannon, through biological warfare even. We can go into great detail about this. But the world kneels before the entire planet kneels before the global system of white supremacy. No one can deny it. And the thing about it is that many white people are woefully ignorant of it. They believe because their skin is white, their white privilege makes them a part of whatever they conceive of, and many of them don't mind, of a global system of white supremacy. They believe that as long as they're white, they're all right. But the fact of the matter is, as I pointed out in the first installment, that the hierarchy of the global system of white supremacy also oppresses millions of white people in Europe, in the United States, and elsewhere. So we'll develop these ideas a little more fully and bring it up to date to the 20th century at least, and into the 21st century. This has been the second in three installments addressing the issue of global systems of white supremacy. Please like, please share, please subscribe. I need your subscriptions. I'll do the programs, I'll do the presentations, but in order for the channel to spread, it's going to be necessary for you to subscribe and click on the notifications so that you can take part in the discussions. Whenever we go live and whenever we appear, we will be live. With that, I'm going to get ready to sign off, keeping this presentation under 15 minutes. Oh, by the way, a little bit of a warning. After Mother's Day, we will begin a series of lives, including breaking news. I don't want to even call it news because it's not. Breaking information headlines. We'll just call them headlines, shall we? And if you want to call it news, feel free. Now, this evening, I should say, tonight at 8 p.m., we will complete this series of presentations. Whether I do one at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time or not, depends on how I feel. But we will definitely be back at 8 p.m. for another installment of Best Listener Ever. Hope you can tune in at that time. We will schedule it so that you can click on the channel and register that you are avidly waiting for the presentation to begin. We're going to do this until it clicks. And when it clicks, we're going to take off. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for your patience. Don't let anybody make a monkey out of you. Don't make a monkey out of yourself. Take care. Take care of each other. But by all means, take care and peace.